All right, today I'm here with Ray Alstead. He's built a house near mine, and he's going to give us a little tour of his house here shortly. He's also off-grid like the rest of us, or like the rest of most of us out here. He's got one of the split-phase MPP solar inverters, and I'm really excited to see that. But first, let's have a tour of his house.
All right. Well, Steve, it's good to finally meet you. For those of you watching, I've watched Steve on YouTube for a long time now, and actually ran into him at the big box store in Hilo the other day and recognized him and said hi and made arrangements for him to come see this. But anyway, this is my little off-grid Puna Palace. I've been planning for a little while, actually thinking about it for probably 20 years and planning it for about a year, I guess. And here it is. Started October 7th, and it is November 1st today, so it's just framed up, but ready for some next phases. So this is the garage, living quarters above. It's just a 24 by 24 foot footprint. There's going to be a pocket garage door. Actually, if you want to look down there, I've got a elevator door motor and some parts. We're actually going to have an electric opener on a remote fob because it rains here, you know, more than twice a year, more than like 10 times a day sometimes. So hopefully I won't have to get in and out of my truck to get in and out of my garage, but this will be my workbench area. This will all be storage. Everything you see here is temporary. That closet over there is actually the crate that I moved all my tools and equipment and parts and pieces here in. So there'll be a little laundry down there, and over there will be the solar equipment and water pump and some mechanical stuff. So this little staircase, this is the main and only entry. I figure it's just me well, it's sort of just me, we'll see. That's all I need. Definitely wanted a big covered area to hang out because it rains more than twice a year here, sometimes more than twice a day. So this is it, sort of an open floor plan, originally designed as sort of a hunter's cabin that I've built before. Bedroom. I didn't close this bedroom off over here, but I did leave the closet, so a good guest area, and put a divider wall and probably a sleeper couch. Regular 3-piece bathroom, just tub, toilet, vanity. Kitchen will be along this wall, L-shaped, refrigerator over here. No dishwasher, but we'll do something cool and kind of keep it simple. These walls, I thought long and hard on how to do this because I didn't want drywall, and I know that's an issue, and I chose to just buy a whole big bunch of woven Lauhala, and we put it on over the framing, and then vapor barrier over that, and then our metal and siding. And big reason for that to do it first was because if we didn't paint it first, that's just horrible cut in. So I actually shot the skeleton in the pouring rain under a tarp, and it worked out and actually dried up, and there it is. But that's another thing. We started with a tarp at ground level, a 1,200 square foot tarp covered the whole entire garage because it rains here once in a while. It rains like crazy. Maybe we'll get some footage of some rainstorms we had. But anyway, what we did was we started on the ground with it, lifted it up to the first floor walls, lifted it up above the first floor, lifted it above the second floor, and actually did everything underneath the tarp, and then razor bladed it and threw it away. It was about $500, and I think I saved a couple $1,000 in ruined materials. And it was comfortable, and everybody came to work every day because they knew they'd be dry. And this will be closed in on this side with 1x6 TNG and probably painted a different color.
Right.
The back side of it in this room will be Lauhala like the rest. This will be drywall. I just wanted to do the bathroom 100% neat, clean, and drywall, right. And they'll have a good, probably a vinyl floor. I'll probably do something, one of the tough vinyl forever floors.
What do you? Oh, so you're talking about doing like the life proof?
That's something like the life proof vinyl. I'll probably go with a cheaper brand, or I'll see what's out there. You know, I'd like to. I'm sort of a bargain shopper.
And what are the dimensions of your house?
24 by 24. The main area.
Awesome.
The back deck is 8 by 16. The front deck is 8 by 30. So or actually 8 by 27. It's the 24 plus the 3-foot width for the stairway.
Cool.
I just actually put this up, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but The controls will be back there, and that's going to be Kona Brewing surfboard. At this point, I'm trying to get a Kona longboard 8-footer that somebody has on for sale. They want it. It's really hard to get my hands on one, but that's going to be one of those surfboard showers like you might have seen at the beach here and there. So that's the idea here.
The decking looks incredible. You've got, what are these, 1x3s or 1x4? The 1x3s
half
are
of
good.
1x6. We ripped up some stuff we ended up with at the end. That's just kind of how I roll.
Man, that looks awesome though. And
works,
from the ground, it looks absolutely amazing.
It's good and sturdy. And
yeah. So did you do the same on the front deck?
That's actually That's actually 1x4s because I had to buy. It's just kind of how the end of my material landed. So I used 1x4s out here, and hope to do some indirect LED lighting up here. So this is already. I mean, just while we were building the whole time already, this is sort of a magnet.
Fun stuff. So have you ever been off grid before?
In a way, I had a 40-foot trawler, and I lived on it for quite some time. It was in a marina and plugged in, but I learned a lot about, you know, inverter and battery and storage and stuff like that. And I spent more than a couple months on that boat. I took it from Everett to all the way to the northernmost tip of Glacier Bay National Park. And it's a little single diesel trawler, and I lived off grid for a couple months, and it was great. In fact, it was. If I could have towed an extension cord for free, I wouldn't have done it. It really is pretty cool to just do it all, to be self-sufficient. If you do it right, it's not only fun and easy, there's just something about it that really kind of gives you a freedom that you can't explain. It doesn't have to be weird, you know. I hear these people, or I tell them what I'm doing, and you know, they think I'm gonna be a hermit or whatever. Heck no, I'm just not gonna have a power bill. This is the Granddaddy Dual charge controller, inverter, double chrome plated, throw me down thingy with side pipes and all that. Whatever, I'm not sure all the specs. I just know it's big and supposed to work. So hopefully Steve's gonna give me a hand. I have been in here. I've opened this because I took this from the mainland.
Now, how much does it weigh?
I believe I had to keep it under 70 pounds. So I believe it was 72 or 3 pounds, and I had to cut out a portion of the mounting plate because it has a big steel mounting plate, and I figured I could find one of those here in Hawaii rather than spend another couple $100 on additional luggage. So this was my third piece of luggage, and max I could take on Hawaiian Airlines without a fight. And so, like I said, I've been in it before. I don't know if it's right side up or upside down, but that's the way I'm going to open it. Packaged very well.
That is a massive beast right there.
This is a beast. So,
all right, and then it's got these little handle grabs here, so when you're carrying it, it has mounting screws on the top and bottom.
This was a solid mounting plate. It was actually solid between here. And I just cut the middle out and dressed it up on my grinder before I left. And I thought, well, I'll have the top and bottom. I'll put a heat shield on my wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
I cut it really nice.
It looks good.
This part belongs to Steve because it's wires and fancy stuff. I have no idea what all this junk is. I think it's computery thing, so not my department. I'm not going to even throw away packaging in case there's any screws or anything in there.
That's a good idea. Okay, so let's do a rundown here. We got our battery inputs here, on-off switch, relay contact so that you can automatically start a generator, or in my case, I use that on mine to charge my electric car when there's enough power.
Oh, right on.
This is the solar panel input, USB, RS-232, and then your parallel connections. So apparently you don't have to even buy the parallel networking card like you do on the other ones. It's got it built in, so you buy it included.
You can buy another one of these, and then they have a device that allows you to parallel as many as you want.
Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, and then we've got AC output from the inverter to the house, and then the input would be from a generator going into this.
Right.
And then we don't really have anything on this side. Another hand grab here And this thing is pretty massive. Well, get your tape measure and let's measure this thing.
All right, if I can find one. I got everything all packed up here. You see one? There's a shiny. Oh, there's one.
I've got one in the truck. So
I
I
got
need to get
three buried in boxes and cans and stuff here.
Amen to that.
All right, looks like it's 24.5 wide. Then with little safety standoffs on the bottom, looks like 26. So about 2 feet by 2 feet and less than 5 here. 5 inches this way.
All right. That's a big box.
It's a beast.
Most of the inverters that I get are about half and not quite as tall. Most of them are probably like this section here. Then it looks like we've got plenty of wiring room inside here. We're going to take this lid off and have a look inside here and see what we've got in the way of mounting hardware. Okay, so we've got, for reference here, this is Sylvia's inverter from her house. I had to do some repairs on it, and you'll find out about this in about a week. So her inverter is the PIP 2424 LV, which means that it's a 120 volt inverter, 24 volts DC input, and it's pretty typical in size to most of the inverters that you buy. A lot of the 48 volt ones might be slightly larger than this, but this is pretty typical for a reference. If you've got an MPP solar inverter, it's going to be very close to this size. This is what Ray has. And so you can see the difference between these guys in physical size. The split phase inverter is much bigger.
Here's something for size reference on
Yeah.
a cell phone.
Right. And that's a big cell phone.
Yeah, it is.
Now we're going to take the connection cover off so we can see what the cabling connections look like. Okay, so this is the cover off. So we've got the 2 battery connections here, and it actually has 2 separate inputs for photovoltaics. And that is rated 160 amps, so it means there's 2 80 amp chargers built into this. So we're probably going to end up having 2 different combiner boxes, one for each side of this thing. So that'll allow us to split those up. It could be good, it could be bad, but I think it's probably a good thing. And then here on the output, we have neutral, line 2, line 1, and ground, so that's perfect. And then on the AC input, we have neutral, line 2, line 1, and ground. So it does look for a 240 volt AC generator that's split phase. Well, I've got probably enough footage to make a dozen more episodes on YouTube, but I just haven't had the time to edit any of it yet. So here very soon, we're going to do a video on installing Ray's split phase MPP solar inverter, and I'm also going to do the one on repairing Sylvia's inverter. We've got Frank's install, Clayton's install. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. I've just got to be able to try to get enough time to get all this done. But anyway, we'll be getting all that real soon, and I appreciate you joining us.